how divorce brought happiness to my children, a true story of escape and healing. Chapter 1. The illusion of a perfect life. From the outside looking in, our family life appeared ideal. We lived in a beautiful home, and my husband was a man of striking appearance, often likened to a red-headed Jesus, albeit with less hair and a physique straight out of an action movie. He was charming, charismatic, and intelligent, traits that drew people to him effortlessly. I was the dedicated stay-at-home mother, managing the household and taking care of our children while my husband thrived in his career as an engineer. To our neighbors, friends, and even extended family, we embodied the perfect family. There were no loud arguments, no visible signs of discord. It seemed like we had it all together. However, this image was nothing more than a carefully maintained facade. Behind closed doors, our reality was starkly different. My husband had a darker side, one that only the children and I witnessed. His charisma masked a heart devoid of empathy. He wielded his words like weapons, cutting deep with belittling, mocking, and ridiculing remarks. These weren't occasional outbursts but a constant barrage that eroded our children's self-esteem and sense of security. Whenever the kids tried to stand up for themselves, they were quickly silenced, accused of being overly sensitive. As a mother, it pained me to see the impact his words had on our children. I tried, time and again, to explain to him how his behavior was damaging them, but my efforts were in vain. He would listen, nod, and then continue as if nothing had been said. The children, in their confusion and hurt, turned to each other as their only outlet, often resulting in sibling squabbles. They learned quickly never to reveal their dislikes to him, knowing he would only use that information to hurt them further. It was a suffocating environment, and my heart broke seeing my children's spirits diminish under the weight of their father's cruelty. Despite the outer veneer of happiness, our home was anything but peaceful. Every day felt like a struggle to maintain a semblance of normalcy while shielding the children from further emotional harm. The realization began to dawn on me that this wasn't the life I wanted for my children or myself. The moments of happiness we experienced away from him were a stark contrast to the oppressive atmosphere at home. It became clear that in order to provide a truly happy and peaceful home, I needed to remove the toxic element from our lives. This was the beginning of my journey towards liberation. A path that required immense courage and determination, but one that I knew was essential for our survival and happiness. Chapter 2. The mask slips. Behind the mask of charm and intelligence, my husband's true nature began to reveal itself. While he maintained a facade of charisma in public, his behavior at home told a different story. His words, once seemingly harmless, transformed into tools of emotional destruction. He belittled the children, mocking their interests and ridiculing their efforts. His cutting remarks were a constant in our household, leaving no room for the children to feel safe or valued. His favorite pastime became targeting our children's vulnerabilities. Simple things like a hobby or a favorite TV show would become ammunition for his verbal assaults. The kids learned quickly never to show what they cared about, fearing it would be turned against them. His words didn't just hurt, they deeply wounded, leaving scars that were invisible but profoundly impactful. Whenever the children tried to defend themselves or each other, he dismissed their feelings as oversensitivity. This gaslighting left them confused and hurt, not knowing whether their reactions were justified or if they were truly being overly sensitive. His manipulative tactics ensured that the blame always shifted away from him and onto the children or even onto me. The emotional abuse wasn't limited to the children. I, too, bore the brunt of his cruel words. He would undermine my efforts as a mother and partner, creating an environment where I felt constantly inadequate and fearful of making any mistake that could trigger his wrath. Despite this, my primary concern remained the children. I saw how his behavior affected their mental and emotional well-being, and it broke my heart. Our home, which should have been a sanctuary, felt more like a battleground. The children, unable to express their frustrations directly to him, turned their anger towards each other. Sibling fights became a daily occurrence, the only safe outlet for their pent-up emotions. The house was filled with tension, a ticking time bomb that could go off at any moment with the slightest provocation. Despite my attempts to mediate and protect them, I felt powerless against the pervasive negativity my husband brought into our lives. I tried various ways to communicate with him about the impact of his behavior, but he either brushed it off or twisted the conversation to make it seem like the problem was with us, not him. The constant gaslighting eroded my confidence and sense of reality. Through all this, there were rare moments of peace. Whenever we were away from him, the children blossomed. They laughed, played, and showed glimpses of the happiness that was stifled at home. These moments were bittersweet, highlighting the stark difference between life with and without their father. It was during these times that the realization struck me. For my children to have a chance at a happy, healthy life, we needed to escape the toxic environment created by their father. The journey ahead seemed daunting, but the well-being of my children gave me the strength to consider the unimaginable: divorce. The next steps would be challenging, but the seeds of change had been planted, and there was no turning back. My children's happiness depended on it. Chapter 3. A glimpse of freedom. The rare days we spent away from my husband were nothing short of a revelation. Whenever he traveled for work or we visited family without him, a miraculous transformation took place. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the children's faces lit up with genuine joy. It was during these moments that I caught a glimpse of what our lives could be like: happy, peaceful, and free from the constant fear of emotional assault. During these brief respites, my children's true personalities emerged. They were no longer walking on eggshells, fearing their father's next hurtful comment. Instead, they laughed freely, engaged in playful activities, and showed each other kindness and affection. The sibling fights that plagued our home vanished, replaced by harmony and camaraderie. It was as if a weight had been lifted from their small shoulders, allowing them to breathe and be themselves. We became closer as a family during these times. Without the looming presence of their father, the children confided in me more, sharing their hopes, dreams, and fears. I saw their potential for happiness and growth, which had been stifled by the toxic environment at home. These moments were a stark contrast to the daily life we endured under my husband's shadow, highlighting the profound impact his absence had on our well-being. It was during one of these cherished times away from home that I had an epiphany. I realized that the happiness we experienced during these breaks was not just a fleeting escape but a glimpse into a possible future. A future where my children could thrive, unburdened by their father's emotional abuse. The thought of permanently removing them from such a harmful environment filled me with both hope and determination. However, the path ahead was fraught with challenges. I had been a stay-at-home mother for years, financially dependent on my husband. The idea of leaving him and starting anew was daunting. Moreover, the teachings of my church and my upbringing were against divorce, emphasizing the importance of keeping the family unit intact. I wrestled with these conflicting emotions, torn between societal expectations and the undeniable truth that my children's well-being must come first. As I watched my children blossom during our time away from their father, my resolve strengthened. I knew that I had to muster the courage to break free from the toxic cycle we were trapped in. The decision to pursue a divorce was not made lightly. It required soul-searching, meticulous planning, and unwavering determination. I knew that promises of change from my husband, made under the threat of divorce, would be hollow and temporary. In July, I began quietly gathering information and formulating a plan. I kept my intentions hidden from my husband, knowing that revealing them prematurely could jeopardize everything. August saw me consulting with an attorney to understand my options and the legal steps required. By September, I secured a job, the first step towards financial independence. Finally, in October, I took the decisive step and filed for divorce. This period was incredibly stressful, filled with uncertainty and fear. But every time I doubted my decision, I remembered the joy and peace my children experienced during our moments of freedom. Those precious glimpses of a better life fueled my determination. I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that my ultimate goal was to provide a safe, loving, and nurturing environment for my children. The journey had just begun, but the first crucial steps had been taken. The promise of a happier future for my children and myself was now within reach, and there was no turning back. Chapter 4. The Road to Independence. Filing for divorce was the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards independence. With each step, I faced new challenges, but the vision of a peaceful and happy home kept me moving forward. The transition from a stay-at-home mother to a working, single parent required immense resilience and determination. Securing a job was the first major milestone. It provided not only financial stability but also a sense of empowerment. I was no longer completely dependent on my husband, and this newfound independence was liberating. However, balancing work and family life was a daunting task. I had to adjust to the demands of a full-time job while ensuring that my children felt supported and loved during this turbulent time. The children, though initially apprehensive, quickly adapted to the changes. They saw my efforts and understood that these sacrifices were for their benefit. We developed new routines that brought structure and stability to our lives. Simple activities, like cooking dinner together or helping with homework, like cooking dinner together, bonding and reassurance, homework, became moments of bonding and reassurance. Our home began to feel like a safe haven. Our home began to feel like a safe haven. I was careful to shield the children from the legal complexities of the divorce. I wanted them to focus on their well-being and not be burdened by adult concerns. And not be burdened by adult around their feelings and experiences. Our conversation centered around their feelings and experiences, helping them process the transition in a healthy way, acknowledging the pain he had caused while also reinforcing that it was not their fault. While also the legal proceedings were emotionally taxing. The legal proceedings were emotionally taxing, brought waves of anxiety. However, I remained steadfast, knowing that this was a necessary step towards securing a better future for my children. My attorney was supportive for my children through the complexities and providing the legal backing I needed to protect my rights and providing the legal backing I needed to protect my rights and those of my children. The children's behavior as we navigated this process, the absence of their father's toxic presence allowed them to heal and rediscover their sense of self. Allowed them to heal and rediscover their sense of self. Develop new friendships. They began to pursue interests that had previously been stifled, and pursue interests that had previously been stifled. Fear was now a place of laughter and with tension and fear. The support of friends and family was invaluable during this time. The support of friends and family was invaluable during this time. Assistance. They provided a network of emotional and practical listening ear and reinforcing my decision to prioritize the well-being of my children. My decision to prioritize the well-being of my children were crucial in maintaining my resolve. And belief in my strength were crucial in maintaining my resolve. There were moments of doubt and fear. Despite the progress we were making, about the long-term impact of the divorce on my children and whether I could sustain this new life on my divorce on my children. But each time doubt crept in, this new life on my children, thriving, but each time doubt crept in, more connected than ever. And I knew I had made the right choice, and more connected than ever. By March 2010, the divorce was finalized. The sense of relief was overwhelming. The divorce was finalized. We were legally free from the man who had caused so much pain. We were legally free from the man who had caused so much pain within our family. However, the children had not seen their father since June 2010, and the difference in their demeanor was remarkable. Their father since they were no longer burdened by the fear and anxiety that had once dominated their lives. They were no longer burdened by the fear and anxiety that had once dominated their lives. Had become a unit of support and love. Once fractured by emotional abuse, from their father's toxic influence, and love. Strong bonds with each other, now free from their father's toxic friends, offering strong bonds with each other in ways I had only dreamed of. Best friends. The journey to independence was challenging in ways I had only dreamed of. Happy, healthy family. The journey to independence was challenging, once the lead weight had been cut loose. Healthy family. Chapter 5. One that had learned to soar once the lead weight had been cut loose. As the dust settled and our new life took shape, the transformation in my children was nothing short of miraculous. As the dust settled and our new life from the toxic influence of their father, my children was thrive in ways I had always hoped for but never fully believed possible. Of their father, our home became a sanctuary in ways I had always hoped for but never fully believed possible. The immediate change was in the children's interactions with each other, understanding, the sibling rivalry that once dominated our household was in the children's interactions with each other. Bond of friendship, the sibling rivalry that once dominated our household dissipated, who once bickered incessantly, a deep bond of friendship and mutual respect each other's endeavors, and spent time together willingly. Bickered incessantly, my son began to share secrets, withdrawn and sullen, each other's endeavors, became a pillar of support together for his sisters. My son, the who had been with their father's negativity, allowed their individual personalities to flourish. My oldest daughter, of their father's negativity, allowed their individual personalities to flourish. And joined a local troupe. My oldest daughter, the previously shy and performing, was discovered in every aspect of her life and joined a local troupe. She no longer hesitated to express her opinions or pursue her interests in every aspect of her life. My middle child, she no longer hesitated to express her opinions or pursue her interests. She began to paint and draw. My middle child, channeling her emotions into anxiety, found solace in art. Her talent was undeniable. She began to paint and draw, work became a source of pride and self-assurance. Her teachers noticed the change and often praised her newfound source of pride and self-assurance. My son, the youngest, found and often praised her newfound focus and creativity, gave him an outlet for his energy and a sense of belonging. Joy in sports. His coaches often remarked on his team, gave him an outlet for his energy and a sense of that had been stifled under his father's oppressive presence. On his teamwork and leadership skills that provided additional support and camaraderie under his father's oppressive presence. As a family, we embraced new traditions and provided additional support and camaraderie. Weekend hikes, as a family, movie nights, we embraced and new traditions together activities that reinforced our bond. These moments of togetherness were healing and reminding us together became and love that defined our family. These moments of togetherness were a shadow of fear, reminding us of the strength of love that defined our family. The emotional healing was in the shadow of fear, but academic and social freedom. Without the constant stress and anxiety, accompanied by significant academic and social progress, their grades improved. Without the constant stress and anxiety, in school my children excelled in their studies. Teachers noticed the change their grades and often commented on their increased participation and enthusiasm. Teachers noticed the change my children became commented on their increased participation and enthusiasm with their peers. Socially, my children became more outgoing and formed stronger connections with their peers. Friendships. They hosted these relationships, provided additional layers of support, and developed a network of supportive the challenges of adolescence. These relationships provided additional layers of support, my children helping them navigate the challenges of adolescence that I had made the right decision. For me, their happiness and well-being were my great ultimate affirmation that I had made the right decision. Underwent a transformation. Their happiness and well-being were my greatest achievements. Gaining skills and qualifications that opened up new career opportunities. I pursued further education. My job became more than justifications that opened up new career opportunities. Pride and independence. My job became more than just a means to its challenges. It was a source of pride and independence. Fear, but the progress we made was not without its challenges. challenges.
focused and determined.
There were moments of doubt and fear,
but the
whether it was
progress
a
we made as a
achievement,
family kept
a
me
personal
focused and
triumph,
determined.
or a simple moment
Each
of joy,
milestone
whether it was
that we were on the right
path,
path,
a personal triumph,
reflecting
or a
on our
simple
journey,
moment of joy,
I realized that the
reinforced
true
that we were
essence
on the
of
right
family
path.
is not defined by the
Reflecting
presence
on
of
our
both
journey,
parents, but
I
by the
realized
quality
that
of
the true
relationships
essence
and
of
the
family is
environment
not
of love and
defined by the
support.
presence of both
Our
parents,
home,
but by the
once a
quality
place
of
of tension and
relationships and
fear,
the
had
environment
become
of
a
love
haven
and
of
peace
support.
and happiness.
Our home,
In
once a place of
conclusion,
tension
the
and
decision
fear,
to divorce
had become
was
a
one of
haven
the
of
most
peace and
difficult but
happiness.
necessary steps I
In
ever
conclusion,
took.
the decision
It freed
to
my children
divorce
from
was
a
one of the
toxic
most
environment
difficult
and
but
allowed them to
necessary
grow into
steps I ever
happy,
took.
confident
It freed my
individuals.
children from a
Our
toxic
story is a
environment and
testament
allowed
to the
them to grow
resilience
into
of the
happy,
human spirit and the
confident individuals.
transformative power of
Our
love and
story is a
freedom.
testament to the
Resilience of the human
A new
spirit and the
beginning. Our story
transformative
of
power of love
transformation
and
and freedom.
resilience reaches its conclusion
Hash,
with a
hash,
powerful
conclusion.
message of
A new
hope and
beginning.
empowerment. Our story of
Leaving an
transformation and
emotionally
resilience
abusive
relationship is never
conclusion with a
easy,
powerful
but it
message
can
of
lead to
hope
a
and
life of
empowerment.
unimaginable peace and
Leaving
joy.
an emotionally
For my
abusive
children and me,
relationship
the
is never
decision to
easy,
divorce
but it
was
can
a
lead to
pivotal
a
moment
life of
that set us on a
unimaginable
path
peace
to
and joy.
healing and growth. For my children
Looking
and me,
back,
the
I
decision to
realized that the
divorce was a
struggles we
pivotal
faced
moment
were the
that set us on
crucible
a
that
path to
forged our
healing and
strength.
growth. Each challenge
Looking
we
back,
overcame
I
brought us
realized that
closer
the struggles
together
we
and
faced were
reaffirmed
the
our
crucible
commitment
that
to one
forged our
another.
strength.
Our home,
Each challenge
once
we
overshadowed
overcame
by
brought
fear
us
and
closer
negativity,
together and
is now
reaffirmed
filled
our
with laughter,
commitment to one
love,
another.
and harmony. Our home,
My children have
once overshadowed
blossomed
by
into
fear and
confident,
negativity,
compassionate
is now
individuals.
filled with laughter,
They have
love,
learned the
and
importance
harmony.
of kindness,
My
empathy,
children have
and
blossomed
mutual
into
respect.
confident,
These
compassionate
values,
individuals,
nurtured in a
they have
supportive
learned the
and loving
importance of
environment,
kindness,
will guide them
empathy,
throughout
and
their
mutual
lives.
respect.
Their success is a
values,
testament to the
nurtured in a
transformative
supportive
power
and
of
loving
a positive
environment,
home
will
environment.
guide them throughout their lives.
For anyone in a similar
Their
situation,
success is a
know
testament
that there is
to the
hope.
transformative
It may
power
seem
of a
daunting to
positive
take
home
that first
environment.
step towards freedom.
For anyone
but
in
the
a
rewards
similar
are worth it.
situation, know that
Surround
there is
yourself
hope.
with
It
supportive
may seem
friends and
daunting
family.
to take that
Seek
first
professional
step towards
guidance
freedom,
and trust
but the
in your
rewards
strength
are
and
worth it.
resilience. Surround
The
yourself
journey
with
may be
supportive
challenging,
friends and family.
but the destination
Seek
is a life
professional
of
guidance
happiness
and
and
trust in
fulfillment.
your strength and resilience.
Our story is a reminder
journey
that
may
we
be
all have the
challenging,
power to
but the
change our
destination is a life of
circumstances
happiness
by
and
prioritizing
fulfillment.
our well-being and that
Our
of our loved
story
ones.
is a reminder
We can
that we
create
all
a
have
life
the
filled
power
with
to
love,
change our
peace, and
circumstances.
joy. By
Divorce
prioritizing
is
our
not the
well-being
end of a
and that of
family.
our loved ones,
It can be the beginning
we
of
can
a
create
new
a life
chapter,
filled with
one
love,
where every
peace,
member
and
thrives.
joy. As we
Divorce
move
is not the
forward,
end of a
our
family.
focus remains
It
on
can be the
building
beginning
a
of
bright
a new
future.
chapter,
We
one where
continue
every
to
member
cherish our
thrives.
time together,
As we
celebrating
move
each
forward,
milestone
our
and
focus
supporting
remains
each
on
other
building
through
a
life's
bright
ups
future.
and downs.
We continue
Our
to cherish
bond,
our time
strengthened
together,
by the trials we have
celebrating
faced,
each milestone
is unbreakable.
and supporting each
We are
other
not
through
just
life's ups
surviving,
and downs.
we are thriving. Our bond,
In the
strengthened
end,
by
our
the
story
trials
is
we
not
have
just
faced,
about the
is
end of a
unbreakable.
marriage.
We
It
are
is
not
about the
just
rebirth
surviving,
of a family.
we are thriving.
It is a story of
In the
courage,
end, our
resilience,
story is not
and
just
the
about the
unwavering
end of a
belief
marriage.
in the power of
It is
love.
about the rebirth of
It
a
is a
family.
testament to the fact
It is a
that
story of
no
courage,
matter how difficult the
resilience,
journey,
and the
there is
unwavering
always
belief
hope
in
for
the
a
better
power of
tomorrow.
love. It is a
Thank you for
testament to the
joining us
fact
on this
that
emotional
no matter
journey.
how difficult
As
the
we've
journey,
seen,
there is
breaking
always
free
hope
from
for
an
a better
abusive
tomorrow.
relationship can lead to
Thank you for
profound
joining
healing
us
and
on this
happiness.
emotional journey.
If this story
As we've
resonated
seen,
with you,
breaking
please
free
like,
from an abusive
share,
relationship
and subscribe
can
for
lead
more
to
profound
single-parent
healing and
success
happiness.
stories and insights
If
on
this
overcoming
story
toxic
resonated with you,
relationships.
please like,
Remember,
share,
you're
and
not alone
subscribe
in your
for more
struggles.
single-parent
Together,
success
we
stories
can
and
find
insights
strength
on
and hope.
overcoming toxic
Stay tuned
relationships.
for more inspiring content.
Remember,
and have
you're
a
not
wonderful
alone
day.
in your struggles.
Keep watching
Together,
and keep believing
we can
in the
find
power of
strength
love
and
and
hope.
resilience.
Stay tuned for more inspiring content, and have a wonderful day. Keep watching and keep believing in the power of love and resilience.